Yes, and we're talking about Ate OG. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to this, especially during the pandemic. And thank you for all those people watching on the live stream and especially watching on the replay. We're awesome live with director Kevin Mayuga and talking about Ate OG for Cinemalaya 2021.
All right. Thank you. Thank
And
you,
we're here
Archie.
talking to
And thank you for
all right, Kevin, maybe can you do a introduction about yourself and maybe talk about how did you start this and what's the story all about for Ati OG?
Yeah, just a little bit about myself. I'm Kevin Mayuga. I'm a filmmaker and advertising commercial director. I started working in ads at first and then started to shift to making more narrative work. I eventually do want to end up making films, web series, and everything. But yeah, of course, with my background coming into it. Ate OG is my first short film. It's my first foray into the film industry and really hoping that it does well and hope to find other collaborators. So Ate OG is about an aging house helper who struggles with depression and being quarantined at her employer's house when she finds herself going through an unexpected and uplifting experience together with the teenagers she's taking care of.
All right, so I think a lot of people can relate to this movie. So first, why Ati OG?
So, Ate OG came about actually with the feeling of a lot of complex feelings during the pandemic. Kasi nga, we felt a lot of social class issues happening outside. Everyone, the less fortunate, were having a harder time struggling. While I was at home, I felt this guilt of privilege of being comfortable at my home with my family. Tapos meron pa kaming kasambahay helping me out and doing all the mundane things. And that sort of made me guilty. And I felt a lot of these complex feelings na I was going through together with, of course, everyone's pandemic anxiety. And, I had to process all that. And I sort of wanted to sort of make amends with that. And that's how it came out with the film.
So how was it shooting during this pandemic? I think a lot of the other filmmakers shot before the pandemic, but I think you are shooting during the pandemic while it is happening. How was that? Maybe can you describe the process? What makes it challenging for you guys?
Yeah, so it was definitely quite challenging. Talaga, I had to be a one-man prod team. As mentioned, I worked in advertising and commercials, and I got used to working in big sets with big crews, all these cameras and lights hanging around. But I felt like during the pandemic, as a filmmaker, I had to go back to my own devices, to my own roots, and sort of direct and edit and light everything by myself, and of course with the help of whoever was available here. Of course, the Ate Merly Kahilig, who stars in it, and my two younger siblings. So, shooting at home had its advantages and disadvantages. I had to, of course, go with everyone's schedule. At the same time, I didn't really have to go to a set or anything like that. Para magigising na lang ako ng maaga, just to shoot till the end of the day and try to get everyone into it.
So ano pala to? They're all within your family essentially. They're actually
Yes. This was the height of the pandemic. No one was allowed to go out. So sino yung kasama ko? Yung first yung kasambahay namin, and then my family and my dogs who I got to look after. So it really feels like a homemade quarantine film.
And so si Ate OG, siya talagang kasambahay niyo siya.
Yes, si Ate Merly Kahilig.
Oh, Ate
Ang
Marley.
nakakatawa pa, before I even told her the story and everything, in-interview ko muna siya, of course, to get to know more of
Oh.
her and everything. Tapos buong araw siya nagkwento, tapos umiyak pa sa akin. And which is sort of inspired the story itself. And I felt like I had a lot more empathy sa, of course, sa mga kasambahays. And I felt like I was able to bring out their story during the pandemic.
So, parang true story rin to, in a sense, or inspired by a true
Yeah,
experience.
not the whole thing, but of course there are some moments, some sensibilities, and of course some feelings na I had to draw from na galing kay Ate Burley talaga.
Mm. All right. Let's talk about the filmmaking process. What makes it different from your commercial shoots, or maybe doing just a YouTube video about your pandemic? What makes this short film kind of different, and how did you approach making this short film?
So making commercials, making ads, usually there's a brief, there's a client, there are people who are telling you what they want to do, and paying you, of course. So I think one of the biggest differences with this one is that this is just me. No one was really telling me to do it. No one, of course, is going to pay me to do it. I felt like it came out of pure raw emotion and whatever I was going through to try to make art out of my feelings. So yun yung lumabas. Other than the scale of the set and shooting itself, I felt like I had more room to really bring out my voice, what I really wanted to say, and the things I felt about it. So I felt like making this film was really more the most me that I could make, as compared to, for example, making a commercial and having to, of course, bring out the brand, sell the product, and satisfy clients and agencies. This one was a lot tougher, even na parang ano ba talaga yung gusto kong sabihin or ano ba talaga yung gusto kong gawin.
Mm-mm. And finding your voice in the film, is it the same as finding your voice in writing as well, or how do you find your style for doing short films like this?
So, definitely finding your writing and finding it in the writing is a big part of the process. Actually, that's where I struggle the most with the writing. I think I'm inherently a director, but still learning as a writer and really trying to find a way to, of course, nagkaka-writer's block ako and I can't write all the time and I can't figure out some ideas. But the way that I really got past it was like, what I asked myself, what can I do that no one else would? What is something that I would do that no one else is going to do or try to do? Even if it's a joke, even if it's a funny thing, even if it's something completely off field. I felt like I just had to find something that only I would do or only I felt so strongly about.
Oo nga. Any advice for people who wanted to be a filmmaker also? And how to get started in this genre of short film?
Short films kasi are such a great genre. A lot of people see it as a stepping stone to feature films, but I learned from another great filmmaker, si Sonny Calvento, na short films are their own sort of genre. They can be anything. You can get away with a lot more. My advice to budding filmmakers, which I feel like myself, I'm in that position as well, is that be find something that you feel so strongly about na kahit madaming pinagdaanan or all the discouragement comes about, you feel still strongly about it. Something that you feel that is very you, something that you feel that only you can talk about. Of course, there's so many different topics, there's so many different messages and stories that have already been out there, but no one can do it in your own voice. No one has heard your voice. In terms of shooting naman, the best camera is the one that you have. There's another finalist who was able to get it to Cinemalaya by shooting just with her cell phone and her family, similar to me. But I had an SLR at least. But there's no excuse if you just wanna tell a story.
Yeah, and congratulations. No, what did you feel when Cinemalaya chose this as a finalist? No, one of the 13 out of the 250, and I'm sure a lot of them thought about doing a pandemic film, no, to get that
Yeah.
connection. Why do you think Cinemalaya chose this film as a finalist? And what did you feel when you got that message? That ano?
So when Cinemalaya, I got word from Cinemalaya that I was a finalist. I was, of course, very humbled, and I felt so lucky to be there. Again, saying that 200 out of 250 was like wow. And 13 finalists. I'm actually excited to see all the other films as well. So I feel very humbled in that sense. Now this is my first short film and my first film festival. I'm not sure what to expect, and I'm just excited to find more collaborators in the film industry. I felt like Cinemalaya picked my. I'm not sure why they picked my film, but I do feel like it has a strong voice, and I do feel like it can be uplifting for people who might be going through some heavy times in the pandemic. That's all I want actually is for people to watch it, feel heavy, feel light, feel all the feelings that I went through sa film.
Galing ah. I think just reading through it, it's like paying tribute nga to our mga kasambahay during this pandemic, and highlighting the issues we have with mental health, I guess. And I'm so excited nga to watch this and to see of course, the Cinemalaya people find something really nice about it being a finalist. So, congratulations for one of the 13 finalists for Cinemalaya. Can you invite them for the August 5 to September 6 showing and why they should watch this
Sure.
at the OG?
Thank you so much, Anton. So, hello to all the viewers. Thank you for the ones watching live and the people on the replay, and eventually, of course, going to be sharing this. Thank you for watching, friends. I hope you guys get to watch my film over here. It's called Ate OG. It stars my helper here at home and my two teenage siblings. It's a homemade short film of a house helper struggling through pandemic anxiety as we all went through and finding some unexpected relief through it. And I hope that you also feel that relief and upliftment as well. Please catch it on KTX, showing from August 5 to September 6. And catch all the other Cinemalaya short finalists as well. I'm expecting them to be really great.
All right. Congratulations. And I'm
Thank
so
you, Anton.
excited.
Thank you for having me, our awesome planet.
All right. All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.